a little cloth napkin, and we're just doing a double fold hem. So folding up 1/4 inch across and then folding up another 1/4 inch all the way across. And then at the corners, I am kind of angling them in. It's called a mitered corner. Ironing it in place so it'll be easy to sew. I'll show you this side. So first we open up the folds in the side, fold it up 1/4 inch, press. Alright, so now we have these folds and then the new folds. So the way to do this is to turn this corner in, that's pretty good. Something like that. Now we're gonna hand sew a hem around all 4 sides. Alright, so we have pressed up our hems. There's a double fold, fold in a 1/4 inch, then another 1/4 inch. So everything's pressed flat. So you can pin at this point especially if your fabric is not staying folded very well, but mine is staying pretty well, so I think I'm just gonna work with it like this. You thread your needle. Ideally, you use a thread that matches your fabric, but just so you can see better what I'm doing, I am gonna use a different color thread, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start in the middle down here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide my knot. I'm gonna put my knot under there. All right, this is called slip stitch, okay? So what you do, this is used for hemming. You just pick up a couple little threads and pull your thread through. Then I'm gonna let my needle glide through this fold a little bit and then pick up a couple more threads. Pick up a couple, glide through, pick up a couple more. Okay. So this is what the back looks like. That's what the front looks like. When you get to the corner, you have a little more securing to do. I have this piece of that fold. I'm gonna tuck it in, hide it. And I want to connect these 2 sides together. Guide your thread back up to the top. So we turn the corner, we take up a couple threads, and just keep going. be sure you don't pull your thread too tight, okay? You want it to be, you don't want it to be loose, but you don't want it to be too tight either. So you can smooth it out like that to make sure it's okay. Let's get more thread. Okay. All right. So we've gotten about halfway around our napkin here, and we've been doing this slip stitch. I'm going to teach you a different stitch that I like called prick stitch, okay? So prick stitch, you actually work from the front side. So I'm going to push my needle up to the front side, okay? So see, my needle went into the hem, into the fold, okay? Came out the front. I'm gonna actually go back. I'm moving in general forward, but for the prick stitch you go back like 1 or 2 threads and then move forward like that. So you see where my needle went in? Up. I'm still through the fold, okay? Come up. Okay, and go back. And then back up. So I'm going to move the thread to the back. So you see how it's different from the front. The thread that you can see is a little more pronounced than the slip stitch that I did over here. But you can work from the right side, and if you're using a thread that matches, it pretty much blends in. I've seen people use prick stitch to put in a zipper to hold the facing down. Sometimes inside a garment things are flapping around because they're not held down. You can use this prick stitch to secure it, hold it down. So it's a really handy stitch you can use for a lot of different things. So let's look at this corner. I'm going to try to show you a different one. I think this one's called ladder stitch. So I came up on this side and I'm going to go directly across to this side and then directly across to the other side. And I'm just kind of going to go back and forth. And then my needle's going to go out the front again to start my prick stitch back up. But that's pretty invisible. That's more invisible than what we did over here. So that's a good one to know. Okay, so we're finished. You can see right side, this is where we started, our first stitch that we did, and then we started the prick stitch. So they're very similar, but you can see the prick stitch a little more strongly. And then this is the back side. This one is more invisible from the back side. Prick stitch, you can definitely see the thread running. That's very visible. But tie a knot and be done.